Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Monday Night Raw. I, Tony Schiavone, with Renee Young and with Wade Barrett. And today on Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Raw, we got Father Yule, Grandfather Cold, here today on Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Raw, Tony Schiavone says. And I know that Thanksgiving is happening this Thursday, and soon we'll be on the road to what, if we're Christendom folk, on the road to Yule. If you're a Jewish folk, you're on your way to the Gathering of Lights. If you're a non-Christendom black folk, then you're on your way to the Gathering of Followership. We also have the Living Sagas coming up that Thursday too, with Team Shrek taking on Team Gunther. You got that right, Renee Young says. The Living Sagas happens this Thursday, this Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Day. We got Team Shrek fighting Team Gunther, and we also got Father Yule or Grandfather Cold here today in the ring, Renee Young says. I'll tell you one thing right now. We folks in the 401 Kingdom call him Grandfather Yule. We call him Father Yule. Other folks in the East, some other lands, call him Grandfather Cold. Half of the rest of the world calls him Santa Claus. But I just want to see what he's going to say. I hope he gives me a good gift this year. Ho, 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 and happy Yule. It is I, Father Yule, Grandfather Cold, or many other names that I'm known by, but those are two of the wild names. The Friedrich name isn't really a name, Santa Claus, but wasn't not truly a name. It's more of taking Holy Fellow and then taking the Hellenish borrow name Nicholas and getting Santa Claus or Santa Claus out of it. But my first name is not Santa. Alright, I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, a lot of folks like to make a big thing about that I do my work, once a year in a 12th month for Yule, for Western Christendom, and the first month for Yule for Eastern Christendom. But anyway, at the end of the day, I just want to tell everybody that I'm the one. I bring the love and kindness to others the same way that Jesus brought love and kindness to others. I also help show folks the way to God and to Jesus. I give out gifts, out of kindness, giving, a fear of, the mindset of giving. And giving to someone you truly care about and love enough, you give them a gift. The same way that God loved mankind and womankind so much, He gave us the greatest gift, if we believe in Him or not, Jesus. And, the same way that those wise men who spent years yielding for when Jesus would be born, then spent years getting the gifts, and then yielding for that evening, night, or early morning when He was born, and then spending almost a whole year to get to Him, to give those gifts that they spent a lot of years, looking for and getting. And Yule will be about the birth of Jesus, Son of God, the King of Kings, the Kaiser of Kaiser, the healer, the freer, and the teacher. And He did do all those things. He did teach folks of class, of loving and caring and forgiveness. He did heal the sick and the wounded. He did free folks from a sin. He did all those things. So He was a healer, a teacher, and a freer. You know, he also was a friend. Believe that or not, he was also a friend too. So he had that going. So my work is to keep folks happy and glee for Jesus' birthday Yule. Now I know that by now someone is going to come out and start shit with me, and then some hill wrestler is going to come out and start shit with me, you know, and then I'm going to have to, then I'm going to have to, play the bigger man, because I am the bigger man. So just the way it goes with me. So that's all I want to say before I leave. I want to wish everyone a happy Yule, happy gathering of followership, happy gathering of lights. And you, Father Yule, you besmirching skilled wrestling. Here you come out again, and you bring up the lie. You no fly on no reindeer. You got no flay. You don't live in a North Steeple. No one lives in a North Steeple. The truth is, there is a North Steeple, but it's some some stead near, called North Steeple stead near, and share an Alaska Reich. So don't boast anyone. The other lie is, you come out here and give gifts out to folks, and then you got your good and bad list. You took that from God and Jesus. You're a knockoff. You say when folks are awake, when they're asleep, who's been good and bad? Only God and Jesus know. Not some fat, overweight, undying fuck like you. Gunther, first off, I don't know where this anger is coming from. Alright? But I would do what Jesus would do, and I would forgive you for your slighting me, or guilting me, or shaming me. You think that I'm besmirching skilled wrestling, or sports glee, or whatever folks want to call it. But at the end of the day, I think you, Gunther, need to look yourself in a looking glass. Because you want to talk about onlooking class and good manners, or a lack of. If you want folks to onlook you, then you need to onlook them. What have you done, Gunther, to greater the world? What have I done to greater world? I was the longest lording WWE NXT 4-1 Kingdom Fighter. I was the longest lording WWE Interland Body Fighter. And I will soon be the longest lording World Heavyweight Fighter in WWE. But that didn't greater world, Gunther. Think about that. You want onlook, you want class, then you need to give onlooking class. Well, Father Yule, Grandfather Cold, putting Gunther in his stead and giving him some stone of wisdom here, a thought of wisdom here. But we know Gunther, he's not going to listen to any wise thought that someone had to say, Tony Schiavone said. But Grandfather Cold, Father Yule, put him in his stead. Well, he gave him a good scathing, Renee Young says. If he wants onlook, he has to give onlook, Renee Young says. If he wants class, he has to give class. Wade Barrett said, Gunther's done a lot more things to greater the world than Father Yule or Grandfather Colt has done. He's breaking reckonings with being the longest lording, winnings in his time in WWE. On NXT, NXT UK, NXT SmackDown or Raw. And here's Shrek. Hey, Gunther. So I saw what you did. I heard what you did. And you don't get it. Somehow in your mind, you think you're greater than everyone else. You think you're greater than everyone else. You think that you're you think you're flawless. You think you're sinless. You come out here behaving as if you're God's gift to skilled wrestling. You say you want everyone to onlook you. You want to bring back the onlook in the class. Gunther, the way you behaving, everyone, you're losing class. You're losing onlook. And I'm going to have a match with you here today before our team fights at the Living Saga. Yeah, you might beat me, or I might beat you. But at least at the end of the day, Gunther, I'll get the last laugh, though. Because I'm going to take away that Pennsylvania Reich winnings. And unlike what you did in WWE, you're not going to do it here in the TWF. Alright, Shrek. We understand that you and Gunther don't get along. So what we're going to do here today is it's going to be Shrek fighting Gunther for the Pennsylvania Reich winnings. And this match happens now. So get a Fight Lord in the ring. And I don't care which Fight Lord it is. It could be the one that falls down all the time. The one that's got his two fingers up. Get one of them out. Well, there he is. He's in the ring now. Well, we just heard from, that was the main overseer of the TWF, John Bradshaw Lakefield, which is the nearest thing the TWF has to Adam Pearce, Nick Ambrose, and Ava Rain, and Santino Marella, and Christopher Daniels. This match is for the TWF Pennsylvania Reich winnings. First, he is from far, far away, Shrek, and he is the TWF Pennsylvania Reich fighter, Gunther. Ding. First off, Wade Barrett said, neither of these men are not from Pennsylvania Reich. Gunther, he's not even from the 4-1 ranks, he's from Austria's land. And Shrek is from the kingdom of far, far away. You know, Wade Barrett says, but these Gunther, you know, he brings onlook in class to skilled wrestling. Wade Barrett says, well, I acts too unlike here, Renee Young says. Gunther talks about how he wants everyone to onlook him. He wants to bring the onlook in a class back to skilled wrestling, but he doesn't want to give any onlook to give onlook, Renee Young says. Well, that's right, Tony Schiavone says. To get onlook, you have to give onlook. You know, you just can't ask for onlook. And Gunther hasn't said or done nothing in his time in WWE or the TWF to get any onlook. But right now he's throwing Shrek around, you know. But this time Shrek picks up Gunther and slams him. And now Shrek body slams Gunther again. Would this be Shrek's night? Will he become the two-time TWF Pennsylvania Reich fighter? Tony Schiavone says. And Renee Young said, will he get a speaker call from Anthony Shapiro, the Reich elder or Reich leader of Pennsylvania Reich? And Shrek's down on Gunther. It's over here, Tony Schiavone says. Yeah, Renee Young says. And will Anthony Shapiro, the Reich elder, the Reich leader of Pennsylvania Reich, gives Shrek a call, thanking him if he wins the Pennsylvania Reich winnings? Wade Barrett says, I don't really think that Anthony Shapiro, the Reich elder of Pennsylvania Reich, is going to care who the Pennsylvania Reich fighter is anyway. You know. Wade Barrett said, it's a shame Ogre's going to be the man here. This is so bloody bad. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner in the new TWF Pennsylvania Reich fighter, Shrek. And Shrek is now a two-time TWF Pennsylvania Reich fighter here in the Toy Wrestling Gathering. And no, Shrek didn't have to, and Shrek did something that no one thought would happen. Tony Schiavone said, no one thought that Shrek would win and beat Gunther before their teams meet at the Living Saga. You know, Tony Schiavone says. Well, that's right, Renee Young says. I don't think anyone truly believed that was going to happen, you know. I didn't believe Shrek was going to beat Gunther here today on Monday Night Raw or Monday Night Raw for the TWF Pennsylvania Reich winnings. But good for Shrek, he did. And Renee Young said, good for Shrek. Wade Barrett says, how did Shrek beat Gunther? How did he beat him? How did that happen? I don't know. Was it some kind of fast reckoning or something was going on? Something wasn't right. Wade Barrett says, John Bradshaw, Lakefield, and Astronomer should look into that. Hell, Jeff Jarrett and Hunter S. Helmsley are looking at too. Take it away, Gene Okerlund. Thank you, Tony Schiavone and Renee Young. I'm going to be talking with the new TWF Pennsylvania Reich fighter, Shrek. Alright, Shrek. You are now a two-time TWF Pennsylvania Reich fighter. However, you still have to meet Gunther and his team friends at the Living Saga. Mean Gene Okerlund, or they call you Gene Okerlund. I can't believe that I am now a two-time TWF Pennsylvania Reich fighter. This ogre who came to the TWF from the Vinlander Frith Middle many years ago, who, yeah, may have been a former world heavyweight fighter, but becoming a two-time Pennsylvania Reich fighter, it's really good. Well, and I put Gunther in his stead. Gunther likes to talk about onlooking class and skilled wrestling, but he's not giving any onlooker class. Well, no, Shrek. Gunther likes to talk about how he thinks he's the greatest wrestler out there and how he's bringing onlooking class back to skilled wrestling, but the way he behaves and what he does, it's a lack of class, a lack of onlook. You know? You're right, Gene Okerlund. No one thought that I could beat Gunther. Not even Gunther thought I could beat Gunther. Gunther likes to talk about how he was the longest lording WWE NXT 4-1 Kingdom fighter. The longest lording WWE Interland Body fighter. He likes to talk about all the shit he did in WWE on NXT UK and NXT and SmackDown and Raw. But it didn't mean nothing, did it, Gunther? Because this ogre beat you. Alright, Shrek, good work with that. And you'll make a good Pennsylvania Reich fighter. Yes, I will. Alright, that was my talk with Shrek. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Renee Young. Thank you, Gene Okerlund, for fuck. Get up. Alright. Well, that's all the time we got here. Thank you, Gene Okerlund, for talking with Shrek here today on Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Raw. And that's all the time we got here. I, Tony Schiavone, with Renee Young and Wade Barrett, we hope you like Monday Night Raw or Monday Night Raw, and we'll see you tomorrow for NXT.